Hello. So we have created our reference images, and so now we have opened up ZBrush, and the first time we open it, we see we have the ZBrush home page here open. I'm going to go ahead and close that. I clicked that X to close it, and I can see here my light box is open, and I can see my default project here, the sphere. I'm going to go ahead and double click this. Oops, sorry, this ball, default project. And there we have this ball. I'm going to go ahead and go to Document and this Document menu here at the top. And I'm going to, I'm sorry, not Document. We're going to go to Draw. And under Draw, I will go down and I'm going to turn on this button that says Floor Grid, or Shift P, which is the shortcut for it. And then I can see a green grid on the bottom. I'm going to click here where it says Front Back, and down below the grid for the floor, Front Back, and I'm going to click Map 1 here under Front Back. And from there, I'm looking to, I get this window open that says Quick Pick, and I'm going to go down to Import. And I'm going to import this image that I've created, my front view. Here's my window, my browser, and here I see front view. I'm going to go ahead and click Open. Okay, so now I see that behind it there. I see it there on this image plane that's behind the sphere. Again, I want to click Draw, and I'm going to set one up for the side view. So I'm going to go here to where it says Left, Right, and I've expanded Left, Right, and here where it says Map 1, I'll click that. And again, I get this Quick Pick menu. I'm going to go to Import, and I will go ahead and click here where it says Side View and Open. Okay, so Side View. So there we have it. I can see the sphere. I can see these views in the back. If I were to click and drag here on the background, not on the circle, but on the background, you can see that I can then rotate. So I'm rotating around. I can also, where this blocky looking head is, I can click and drag on that, and that will look at my front view, my side view, my 3/4 view, right? And I'm also I want to turn off this button that says perspective. I'm going to turn that off, dynamic perspective, so that I can actually see my view. And if I want to zoom out, I can click minus on my keyboard right next to my number pad. Minus, plus will also zoom in. Okay. Clicking and dragging on the background will rotate around. If I hold Alt and I click and drag, that will pan. Here, I want to look from my one of these views here. So Alt will pan, clicking and dragging. Let's see. So Alt. If I hold Alt and I click and drag to pan, I can let go of Alt, but I keep my mouse button pressed, or I keep my pin on the tablet, and that will zoom in and zoom out. Okay, so from this point, what I want to do, I'm looking at, I've added these drawings. I have a sphere in the middle. If I expand here where it says Subtool on the right, and I have this, I can see the subtool list. I have my polysphere open. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go, you see here where it says Draw Mode on the top. I want to click where it says Move Mode. So I've gone into Move Mode. I don't want to click this button that says Edit. Okay, if we click that, well, I will show you what will happen later if I click that. But for right now, I don't want to click it. I just want to click Move, and I'm going to go ahead and move the sphere up. And so now I see this gizmo. I'm moving it here by dragging on the green arrow as part of this gizmo. I can also see that this gizmo, I have these boxes Here, there's the arrows, and then there's the boxes. And this yellow box in the middle, I can click and drag that, and that will scale everything down proportionally. If I click on the green box, that's going up, that will scale up on the y-axis. So I'm going to go ahead and click once here for the on this face, and I'll go ahead and pull this up. I can see that it's not quite. It seems a little off. I've scaled this down to match with my head, but it seems a little off. So I'm not sure if I'm off center here. I can scroll down here by clicking here on the left, like right in between. Here's my subtool menu. In this area right in between here, I can click on that, click and drag, and that will scroll down. And I can go down here where it says geometry, and then I can expand here in the geometry section. Here's geometry, I've expanded it. I can click here for position, and I can see where my X position is. Mine's a little off on my X position. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click 0, and there we go. That seems to be in the center, and that appears to be in the center of my drawing as well. So that's good. Okay, I will go back here to my subtool menu on the right, and I am going to click here under subtool. I will click append, and I get this quick pick menu that opens up. I'm going to click here for my I'm going to click here sphere 3D. I've created a new sphere, and I'm going to click that here in my subtool list. And I'm still in move mode, so I'm going to go ahead and move that up here by clicking on this green arrow. I'll click on this yellow box in the middle to scale it down proportionally. And then I'll move this, I'll scale it on this green box going up and down on the y-axis. There we go. So now I've done that. Very good. Okay, so now I've made this new item, and this is, I'm going to click rename, and I'm going to call it torso, and then enter. Okay, I'm going to click the first one I created, and I'm going to click rename, and I'll call this head. Alrighty, so I'm going to make sure I have torso selected, and I'm going to go into draw mode, and I'm going to click here on this brush here on the top left. This brush on the top left here. I'm going to click here, and I have a selection of brushes. I'm going to click I on my keyboard, and here I see all the I brushes. And I'm going to select this IMM Primitives brush. I clicked I just see the I brushes, and now I'm going to click on this IMM Primitives brush. I see that there's a couple of them. One that says IMM Primitives, and then the second one that says IMM Primitives H, which is for half. I want to select this first one, IMM Primitives. Okay, and now I have an assortment. This IMM Primitives kind of stands for insert mesh dot, and so this selection of meshes I can insert. The first selection here by default is capsule. I want to select this one that says insert sphere, and I want to make sure, see if I go ahead and click and drag that, it's only on one side. I want to do a Control or Command Z to undo, and I want to click X. With X, I can see I have this circle on one side, and then my cursor is mirrored on the other, a red dot. And I'm going to go ahead and click and drag here for this sphere. I've added 2 of them now, one on each side. And I want to go, oops, and then I want to go over here to the right in my subtool menu and click split. And then I'm going to click split unmasked points. Split unmasked points. So here I have in my list, I've created a new mesh, You see there's head, then torso, and then torso 1. I'm going to select torso 1, which are these new balls that I've created, and they are actually my arms. And I'm going to click rename, and I'm going to call this arms. Then I'm going to click enter. Okay, and then again I'll go into my move mode, and I'm going to just move them out, and I'm going to scale lengthwise. Let's see, scale it out. It's getting a little weird, so this is good enough. I'm just bringing it here, and I'm gonna edit this later. This is just kind of good enough for now. I'm gonna go ahead and select my torso again, and go back into draw mode. And once in draw mode, I'm going to again have my X on. I can see my red dot on the other side. I'm going to click and drag here to add a sphere on this side for the legs. And then I'm going to go back into move mode, and I'm going to click and drag here for scale. And then you see this circle here. There's this red circle and this blue circle. This red circle will rotate. And I want to scale these kind of down with the yellow block here. And the blue one I will use to scale up and then rotate. Okay. And so this is kind of good enough, right? If we're not able to get it perfectly done and rotated and everything else, I don't want them merging together. I don't want these to like combine with each other. I just want to get them out there. And that's kind of good enough. So now we'll go back into draw mode. And then back in draw mode, I'm going to go ahead and click once here on the brush, and I'm going to click M for move, and then T, topological, which is the move topological brush. That was M and T. I can do it again and just click M for move, and here, click the brush, M, come on, M, there we go, and I can go here to move topological. There we are. And so now I can start moving things around. My draw size is up here. There's a shortcut. If I hover over this draw size, this will make my brush bigger. I can also click S. S will increase my draw size. S will give me the slider for my draw size. I'm going to look from this front view, and I'm just going to start selecting here. And this is, I'm sorry, I forgot. I want to go here again where it says split unmasked points. Split unmasked points. It's created a new subtool called Torso 1. I'm going to select that. I'm going to click rename and call this legs. There we are. So here I am in the legs and I'm moving them. Okay. And then I will look from the side view. So I'll click here on this for the side view. Okay. And so all I'm doing is just clicking and dragging. Or if I'm using a tablet, which is good to do, I am just using the pen to click and drag onto the surface. I'm looking from, say, the top and making these arms much thinner. And then another thing I can use to make these things seem thinner is do shift. Shift is actually to smooth. And so I'm smoothing these out. Then I'll go ahead and select my legs and the subtool list, and I'll smooth them out a little bit. All right. I'll select my torso, and my torso, I look from the side view, hold out here for the, kind of make a contour of my torso. And there we go. So there I have it. I have a basic shape for my body, and this is good enough. We went over several tools. We moved. We used the move mode. We've also used the move brush. We've used the insert brush to insert new objects. We've gone over the subtool menu, and we renamed our subtools. Finally, what we want to do is we want to go to Z plugin here at the top. Z plugin, we're going to save out our object that we're sculpting, and we're going to actually do this two different ways. First, we're going to Z plugin here at the top, Z plugin, and then subtool master, expanded subtool master, and I will click Save Z tool. Save Z tool. I get this window that opens up. I'm going to call this my last name and basic body. I will type that in here. It's going to save as a ZTL file, a Z tool. I'm going to go ahead and click Save. Okay, and then I'm going to close ZBrush. I'll go ahead and click this X here to close it. It asked me, do I want to save changes to my ZBrush project? I will click Yes. And then I will save this Z project. Let's see here. I'm going to save this as, I'll call it basic body .zpr. It's a ZPR file. I am not going to call it .zpr. I will just simply click save. I already have one here. I'm going to call this basic body 2 just to save it. I don't want to overwrite like my ZTL or anything. I'm going to click save. That'll work. Okay. All right. Thank you.